Hey, I wanted to start off today talking about Jed the Fish Gould. Really sad news hearing he passed away.
Oh, absolutely. Jed the Fish. 69. Lung cancer. It hits hard for anyone connected to LA radio.
It really does. He was such a legend, wasn't he? KROQ, I mean, his name is practically synonymous with it.
Totally. You think KROQ, especially that golden era of alternative, you think Jed the Fish.
Exactly. And he was there shaping it right from near the beginning. Joined back in 1978.
Yeah, 78. KROQ was still finding its feet then, out in Pasadena.
Yeah.
Not the powerhouse it became later.
Right. It wasn't this established giant yet. He was part of building that whole alternative sound, that identity.
It makes you think about that early energy,
Yeah.
what it must have been like. He really tapped into something.
And his ear for music, just incredible. He was playing punk, new wave,
Yeah.
all that alternative stuff.
Way before it was mainstream. He wasn't just following trends.
No, he was making them for a lot of listeners here. He picked stuff that just resonated.
That's a real gift, isn't it? Spotting what's next, what has that cultural edge before everyone else catches on, takes real insight.
And he stuck with it. 34 years on the air at KROQ. That's a serious run.
Wow, 34 years. Became the afternoon guy, right? Before leaving in 2012.
Yeah. For so many people, tuning him was just part of the day, the commute home, whatever. He was the soundtrack.
That kind of consistency, day in, day out,
Yeah.
it creates a real bond, doesn't it? His voice, the music he chose, it was familiar.
And even after the main KROQ gig, he kept going. He did time at KCSN.
Right, which has a great rep for music discovery, too.
And then he even circled back to KROQ's HD2 channel, Rock of the 80s.
Oh, interesting. Rock of the 80s. It's like he was revisiting his roots, the music he helped break.
Shows the passion was still there, for the music, for radio.
Definitely. And it wasn't just the fans who loved him. The industry recognized him, too.
Yeah, he got those big awards, Billboard's Modern Rock Personality of the Year.
And Radio Records, local modern rock personality. Yeah, those mean something. That's your peers saying you're top notch.
Absolutely. It shows the respect he commanded, not just for being popular, but for his actual skill and influence.
You know what always stood out? Descriptions of his personality. That distinctive layered laugh and offbeat humor.
Oh, yeah. You can almost hear it, right? It wasn't just a voice reading intros, it was him.
That's the magic of good radio, isn't it? Feeling like you're hanging out with someone real, someone with personality.
He actually said something really interesting about that. Something like, it took me years of imitation before I learned the simplicity of being myself on air.
Wow. That's pretty profound, actually, finding that authentic voice.
Yeah. It speaks volumes, doesn't it? That journey to just being genuine and how that connects.
It really does. Seems like he found it, and that's why he resonated for so long.
And his real name, Edwin Jed Fish Gould III.
Yeah.
Quite formal compared to Jed the Fish.
Yeah, a bit different. And later on, he got into visual art too, sculpture, mixed media.
Yeah, I read that. It seems like he just had this broad creative streak, Not just music.
That adds another layer, doesn't it? And an
Yeah.
artist exploring different ways to express himself. Pretty cool.
So thinking about his passing, it really feels like losing a true pioneer, especially for Southern California music fans.
Definitely. His voice, his choices.
Yeah.
They really were formative for a whole generation, maybe more.
He introduced so many of us to bands that became central to our lives.
He wasn't just spinning tracks, he was a curator, maybe even a bit of a tastemaker. A cultural anchor for that scene.
Giving a platform to artists pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
Building that whole KROQ sound.
His career really shows how one person with the right passion and ear can have such a massive impact.
Yeah, especially on a local scene like LA, but with influence far beyond, I think.
He helped define an era for so many listeners.
Yeah.
That's a legacy right there.
So for everyone listening, what memories does Jed the Fish or KROQ bring up for you? Any bands you found through him?
Yeah. Or just thinking about how alternative radio, maybe specifically his show, shaped what you listened to back then or even now.
It's interesting to think about those personalities who kind of guided our musical tastes, isn't it?
Definitely. Their influence often runs deeper than we realize at the time.
Maybe check out some old KROQ playlists from his era, or look up some archives if they exist.
That could be a cool trip down memory lane, hearing the music he championed in context.
It's like stepping back into that specific time with him as your guide again.
Yeah. It just really highlights how one individual with genuine passion and that feel for what's next
Can leave such a huge mark on something like music radio and on all the people who tuned in. Makes you wonder who's doing that today, Who are the voices shaping things now?